राधानितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सागणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते गोपालकृष्णगोस्वामिनिति नामिने नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. That's good. Hare Krishna. So, what are we doing today? Yes, Mataji. Nectar of instruction. Okay. Who has written this? Yes, Prabhu. Who has written this? Nectar of instruction. Nectar of instruction. Yes, Srila Prabhupada translated it, but originally it's written by Rupa Goswami. Okay, so Rupa Goswami has left us so valuable scriptures which can guide us in the bhakti. Okay, these are like a manual. Like, if you want to drive a car, you need a Google Maps, right? Earlier, people used to drive anyway, but now you need a Google Maps. Google Maps drives you to the destination. So, what Rupa Goswami gave is like a Google Map. Google Map to? Where to reach? Goloka, yes. That is why we are known as Rupanugas. Have you heard of this term? All the Gaudiyas are known as Rupanugas, followers of the Rupa Goswami. What Rupa Goswami has done for us is unmatchable, right? And in fact, that Rupa Goswami is, of course, we can't compare ourselves to him, right? But he has set a very high standard. That he was also a professional like us. What was his profession? He's a minister in the king, We are the, some IT job or other jobs we do, but he was on the top most in the ladder, right? And the way he molded his life. Okay, the way he molded his own life, that actually sets the example that how we want to live. And at the same time, he gave all these manuals. What is the other important scripture he gave us? Yes?
Nectar of devotion.
Nectar of devotion. Yes. Isn't it? And then he has given the many others, but in our Bhakti Shastri or the initial period, the books that is recommended, Nectar of Instruction and Nectar of Devotion. What is the meaning of the Nectar of Instruction? Yes. It's very simple. Yes, Prabhuji.
It's literally mean Updeshamrita, means it's like instructions how to perform devotional service.
Very good. It's a set of instructions. And the nectar means Amrita or the essence of the instructions. Very simple. So when the instructions are given, what to do? Follow. That is the purpose. If you don't follow, don't implement in your life, that is good to keep in the shelf only, isn't it? So, instructions means it has to be applied, right? So, in the last week, you must have discussed about the first verse. Okay. So, what was the first verse for?
Control your speech, mind, tongue, and genitals.
Yes.
Senses
Yes.
and anger as well.
Yeah. Everything is controlled then.
You can you're qualified to make disciples, basically.
Yes. Then why you guys are learning this? Raise your hand if anybody wants to make disciples. That is for the Guru, right? Very, very high standard. You control these 6 things, then you will become a Guru. But we are learning. We are not there yet, isn't it? Why? And this is the basic book that Prabhupada is recommending. The first verse saying that control these 6 urges so that you can become a Guru. Why?
Because we have to master our own mind, like
It's for self-control.
Very good. Self-control. And yes?
So progress in bhakti, we need to progress in bhakti, we have to be controlled like this.
Very good.
like
Very good.
mastering your own mind. Everyone has to become a Goswami, like controlling your own senses. So this is what Prabhupada has mentioned.
Fantastic.
And our cult is preaching cult, so it's not only Guru, we are preaching as well, like, to other devotees.
Very nice. Very nice. When we read these qualities, right, then we imbibe these qualities in us. And as Mataji said, that we all have to become a Goswami. So how do you become a Goswami? Tomorrow morning you leave home and go to forest. Yes?
What way?
How will you become Goswami?
When you're
Controlling the senses. There are the only 2 masters. You can serve only one of them, not both. You will never serve both the masters. What are those 2 masters?
Maya and Krishna, either you will serve Maya or Krishna.
Very good. Very good. So you serve your senses, become Godasa. Or you control your senses, become Goswami. Okay? Goswami is not that, getting the title or going back to the forest or anything, So the nectar of instruction, the purpose is to put your personal plan that this is what I want to change. Just like New Year resolutions people do. That I will go to the gym this year, and they follow very strictly for 3 days. Isn't it? Then that gym subscription is a waste of money. And in the meantime, they would have bought the tracksuit, the shoes, that shoes, and would have spent about a couple of $1,000. Everything is wasted. So, we don't want the resolution like that. Okay? We want the resolution, put a plan for yourself. How do you want to change? Okay? And when you put a plan, then you can track. If you don't have a plan, then what it means? You can do anything. But when you have a plan, you do these things. Okay? Have you heard of that? If you don't have a plan, you can do anything. If you don't have a map, you can go anywhere. Isn't it? You can keep driving. Whether you reach the destination or not, that's only Krishna knows. Yeah? So, bhakti, we have to put a plan. We are the sadhakas. We are sadhakas, practitioners. How do you practice? Putting a plan. Okay? We haven't come to the stage of the prema. We can't do the spontaneous bhakti. Right? We have to have a plan. We have to follow the rules. We have to follow the regulations. so that we have a certain guardrails to keep going. And gradually our heart gets purified and we will come to the stage of the raga bhakti. Okay? Then you can do the spontaneous bhakti. Otherwise, Mother Yasoda was serving Krishna. Was she chanting 16 rounds? But you are chanting 16 rounds. So who is better?
Mata Yashoda.
So, and if we follow your Mother Yasoda, then what to do? Don't chant from tomorrow.
But we
Yeah.
have to reach there. It's like
Correct.
We don't know how many rounds he chanted that he
to reach
Yeah.
there. She might
Correct.
have millions.
So, in Mother Yasoda's life, there was nothing which is not connected to Krishna. 24 hours, every second, every moment was centered around Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. What is Krishna consciousness? Not chanting 16 rounds, not following the four regulative principle. Krishna consciousness is an attitude. It's a behavior. The attitude is that Krishna is the center, not me. That is real Krishna consciousness. Okay? So the rules and regulation what Prabhupada said, 16 round, 4 regulative principle, do this seva, go to the temple, morning programs, all this to help us to come to that stage. Get my point? Does that make sense? So, Krishna consciousness is simple but not easy. Simple and easy are two different things. Yes? So sometimes very complex things also very easy to do. Yeah? So Krishna consciousness is very, very simple. Right? But very difficult to execute. Okay? Yes, you want to say something, Mataji? Okay. So we'll do the second verse. Alright? So how do you want to do, Prabhu? Just, yeah.
Prabhu will be guided by you. Last week we were reading one paragraph, Prabhu. One of them were reading and Prabhu was explaining.
Okay.
We can do like that or we'll be guided by you, Prabhu.
We'll go in that pattern.
Okay.
How many of you read the purport already?
Good to go.
Second verse.
Second one? Yeah. Yes. Nectar of instruction, the purports are very, very important. Okay? And each and every verse, Prabhupada is writing 10 pages, 12 pages, 13 pages purport. Can you imagine how important that verse must be? Prabhupada is putting so much of effort. You know, so we have to study the scriptures scrutinizingly. Have you heard of this one? Scrutinizingly? What does scrutinizingly means? Going thoroughly, yes.
Analyzing.
Yes, huh?
Deeply analyzing.
Deeply analyzing, very good. Anything else, Prabhuji?
Critically reading.
Critically?
Critically reading.
Critically reading, yeah. Filtering, yes. Introspection. How do you do that? No, I mean, good point, but how do you do that?
So like after we
I'm sorry. I mean, just
So you can test yourself.
yes, after we read
You can test. You read this one, Vacha Vegam. Okay, how far I am there. Right? Mataji can test you. Vacha Vegam, you know, how much you are controlling your Vacha. Yes? You will say that I am already controlled. You know? So that is the introspection. Make sense? Okay. So when one day when Prabhupada was during that time traveling to India, the devotees approached Prabhupada saying that government is giving a big grant for the researching anything you research, government gives the grant. Right now also government gives the many grants here, isn't it? You know, if you want to help somebody, they give the grant. COVID time they gave a lot of grants. So like that, in those days, Indian government gave the grants for the research. So devotees went to Prabhupada. Said that Prabhupada, we want to put a Vedic research center so that we get a grant. Prabhupada refused. Why research? No research required. Rupa Goswami has done the research already. So you just follow. So then the devotees started to convince Prabhupada, let's have the institute for the Naam ke vaste. At least we will get the grant. Prabhupada never allowed it. No research. What is the problem with research?
You're searching, researching.
Yes, you will come up with your own interpretation. And in this generation, you will come with your interpretation, you slightly deviate from what Prabhupada gave. Next generation, they deviate some more. And after 10 generations, Prabhupada would have said something and people following something else.
Like it's happening in today's life.
Yes, that is the reason the as it is a very significant. As it is, the way Prabhupada is given, that is what we follow. You can do the analysis and all these things and all, and have the others' realization, your own realization, but within the what Prabhupada has taught. And what Prabhupada did, whatever his guru taught. And he did whatever his guru taught. So that is how the as it is coming. Make sense? And sometimes the devotees do the research as well. Like, that is more of a preaching purpose. Like, some devotees read the Quran as well. What the Quran has got to do with the Vaishnavas? What? They research what is written in the Quran, what is written in the Bhagavad Gita, are there similarities, what are the differences and all. That is a different purpose. Right? So sometimes that happens. Like, for those specific devotees who are taking that kind of services. But no research. Make sense? Okay. So, everyone have a book or should I display here?
Prabhu displayed last time. Prabhu, if possible. So they can also read from there.
So let me open another screen here.
It's visible.
Yeah. I have eyes only in the front. Okay. Anyone wants to start?
Atyahara prayasascha
Atyahara prayasascha
prajalpo niyamagraha
prajalpo niyamagraha
janasangascha laulyam cha
janasangasya laulyam cha
sadbir bhaktir vinasyati
sadbir bhakti vinasyati. Yes.
Atyahara prayasascha
Atyahara prayasascha
prajalpo niyamagraha
prajalpo niyamagraha
janasangascha lolyamscha
janasangasya laulyam cha
sharbhir bhaktir vinashyati.
sadbir bhakti vinasyati. Okay. So what are the okay, we'll read the translation. One's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities: eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required, over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters, practicing the scriptural rules and regulation only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulation of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically, associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness and being greedy for the mundane achievements. Yeah. So, very, very important. These are the very key obstacles in the progress of the bhakti. Okay. So, what happens when you are walking? Right? You can freely walk. But suppose behind somebody puts a huge weight on you. Will you be able to walk? Your walking capability is lost. So like that, when we are engaged in these abominable activities or these activities which are mentioned here, these are the obstacles in the progress in the bhakti. They will arrest your progress. Okay, and we'll discuss them one by one. Prabhupada has explained each of them very nicely. Okay. Yes, can somebody read the first paragraph?
Yes.
Yes, Pardeep Prabhu.
Human life is meant for plain living and high thinking. Since all conditioned living beings are under the control of the Lord's third energy, the material world is designed so that one is obliged to work. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has three primary energies or potencies. The first is called Antaranga Shakti or internal potency. The second is called Tathastha Shakti or marginal potency. The third is called Bahiranga Shakti or external potency. The living entities constitute the marginal potency and they are situated between the internal and external potencies. Being subordinate as eternal servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Jivatmas or atomic living entities must remain under the control of either the internal or external potency. When they are under the control of internal potency, they display their natural constitutional activities, namely constant engagement in the devotional service of the Lord.
Can you stop here? What are the points here?
There are three energies: internal energy, marginal energy, and then external energy. And we are basically the marginal energy, and we got the option to go towards internal or external.
Very good. Any other understanding? So, marginal energy, which actually means that it can be controlled. It can be controlled by the Maya, or can be controlled by the spiritual energy as well. Lord has got the two energies, Yoga Maya and Mahamaya, right? So when the marginal energy means the danger is that it can be controlled. So how do you get out of the control? That it depends on you. That is, your endeavor have to be there. So once we progress, cultivate the spiritual life, once we progress, then we will be controlled by the spiritual energy of the Krishna. Right? So marginal energy, the individual, the living entities has got a choice. You want to control by the Maya or controlled by Krishna. Make sense? So this way, and the other way to look at is that since the living entity is marginal energy, they can live in the material world and they can live in the spiritual world also. Okay? Just like you are standing in the seashore. You can go into the water, you can come into the land as well. No problem. But fishes are in the water, they can't come into the land. Make sense? So that is the difference. So this way, that marginal energy is basically we have a choice whether we want to live here or living in the Golok Vrindavan. Okay? And that choice we have to make. And once we make that choice, we have to put certain endeavor to fulfill our choice. Okay? And that is the purpose of the nectar of instruction. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so the next one, Prabhupada refers here the Bhagavad Gita 9:13. Yes, Prabhuji.
Bhagavad Gita 9.13. Mahatmanastu Mahapartha
Mahapartha
Daivim Prakriti Mashitaha
Daivim Prakriti Masitaha
Bhajanti Ananya Manaso
Bhajantyānano Manaso
Jnatva Bhutadim Avyayam.
Jnatva Bhutatim Avyayam.
O son of Pratha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible.
Very good. Why Prabhupada is giving the reference here? One is the Mahatmas. What is the opposite? Duratma. What is the difference?
One is demon and the other is
Demon, maybe not demon, maybe demoniac mentality. Okay, so demon also come in that category, but those who are not demon also they come in the categories. So it's more of a mentality. Yes, and what is the main difference? What do the Mahatmas do which Duratmas don't do?
Krishna is the supreme, understand the control of internal energy, and demon like Duratmas are
Under the external energy, control of the external. So Mahatmas love Krishna. Krishna in the center. And their whole life centered around Krishna. Just as I gave the example of Mother Yasoda. Okay, Ambarish Maharaj, king of the entire world. What was his life? His life was centered around Krishna. What was the thing that he didn't have? Name, fame, wealth, power, everything he had. Isn't it? And what was he doing? He was serving in the temple, cleaning the temple, taking the darshan of the Lord. Right? So, that is the great example. Parikshit Maharaj, he was the king of the whole entire world. Right? And some boy, a little boy cursed him, say that you will die in 7 days. And Parikshit Maharaj was not an ordinary personality. He actually stopped Kali. Can you imagine what kind of personality he will be? How powerful he will be? Right? And spiritually so advanced. And the little Brahmana boy's curse is nothing for him to control. He could have controlled. Okay? He could have reversed it. Did he do that? No. He accepted. No problem. Thank you, Krishna, to give me this one. Then he went. So, Mahatmas are not disturbed by the adversities. Okay? They always, good or bad, they depend on Krishna. They love Krishna. Duratmas, they keep themselves in the center. I am the great. Okay? Yes, Sara, everything happens because of me. That is the thing. That is the difference. Okay? So, here, that Prabhupada basically writes that, Because they know me as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible, that knowledge also lacks in the Duratma, avidya. Right? So, the avidya is the key reason for anyone to fall down. Everything starts with the knowledge. Right? And Guru basically opens our eyes through the torch of knowledge. Make sense? So, that the avidya can be addressed by the weapon of knowledge. Which knowledge? Yes?
I cannot answer.
Yeah, why not? Which Shastra? Shastras are there are many.
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Very good. Very good. Okay? Following the Vaishnava literature. Those literatures which Prabhupada has recommended. As simple as that. Okay? Otherwise there are many scriptures. Okay? So people follow the Nyaya Shastras. Right? And there are the many Mayavadis also, they follow the Shastras. Based on the Shastra, categorically they say that Krishna is impersonal. They are also getting some knowledge. They are also getting some scriptures, reading some scriptures, isn't it? So, that the scriptures, we take the knowledge, but those scriptures which Prabhupada recommended, to keep it simple, not getting complicated. Make sense? Shall we move on? Yes. Yes, Prabhu, you can read.
The word Mahatma refers to those who are broad-minded, not triple-minded. Triple-minded persons always engage in satisfying the senses, sometimes expand their activities in order to do good for others through some ism, like nationalism, humanitarianism, or altruism. They may reject personal sense gratification for the sense gratification of others, like the members of their family, community, or society, either national or international. Actually, all this is extended sense gratification from personal to communal to social. This may all be very good from the material point of view, but such activities have no spiritual value. The basis of such activity is sense gratification, either personal or extended. Only when a person gratifies the senses of the Supreme Lord can he be called a Mahatma or broad-minded person.
Okay. It is very interesting sometimes the way Prabhupada writes. Okay. So that Prabhupada basically described everything and in one shot he classified all of them sense gratification. Can you imagine if somebody doing the national service, the philanthropy service, feeding the hungry people, helping the poor people, and this one, that one, and all these things, that humanitarian, nationalism, altruism. So, and that is sense gratification? How?
Krishna.
They need happiness by doing those activities. Maybe for some of them they need a status.
Name, fame,
Name,
for that
fame,
purpose
yeah.
they are not putting Krishna in the center by doing those activities.
Fantastic. The center is themselves, me and mine, aham and mameti. That is where the ahankar comes, false ego, when you are in the center. So, if there is no benefit, anybody do it? No. So, only devotees of the Krishna, they keep Krishna in the center and they basically help others as a Krishna's children. So, that's why the Vaishnavas or the Sadhus, Mahatmas are paradukha dukhi. Okay, whatever they do for the others' welfare. There is no real welfare without spiritual progress. Okay, you can feed the hungry, no problem. Feed them prasadam. At least some refinement will be there for them. Okay, that prasadam will help them eradicate some of the sins, like that. Okay, so even though when we do the humanitarian activity, that has to be done keeping Krishna in the center. Okay, whichever is not spiritual, that should not be done. Okay, so Mahatmas are not cripple-minded. They are broad-minded. Where else we have heard this one? Bhagavad Gita done, no? Yes. Have you heard about this one? Very beginning, in the second chapter itself, Krishna tells to Arjuna, become a Brahmana, don't be a Kripana. Kripana means a miserly person. Right? So, that Brahmanas are broad-minded. Yeah, Mahatmas are broad-minded. So, what is the Kripana means?
Miserly persons.
Miserly. How do you define the miserly person?
Self-centered, English definition.
Poor like Prabhu, or
Like a lack of knowledge, you can say.
they like to not. If
Like
you
they
are
will
praising
not-
someone, they are not. They'll praise little bit.
They will not use it for themselves, will not let other one use it.
Okay.
So conduce.
Conjuice. See, generally Kripana means the one who has a lot of money but doesn't spend. Right? Just hold on. But in this case, that a Kripana who has got this human form of life, and you have all the ability to go back to the Godhead. Just now we read that we are marginal energy, so we can, but we utilize that for activities which bind us further in the material world. Okay, so that is the Kripana, that is the cripple-minded. Cripple-minded, very strong word. Just imagine how Prabhupada is writing. So if somebody outsider read, they say, what is Prabhupada writing this? At a stretch he is saying that whole thing, that this is sense gratification. But if you go into the deeper meaning of it, what Prabhupada mean by these purports, these are the appropriate words. Very, very appropriate. What happened? Once when Prabhupada was translating, every day he will sit and speak into the dictaphone. And he was doing very slowly. Like, he will on the dictaphone say one or two words, stop for 2 minutes. Then say one or two words, then stop for a minute. And the devotees saw, Prabhupada is so slow, so much work to do, so many books to do. So they approached Prabhupada and said that, Prabhupada, can you speak faster? So that the translation will be faster. What did Prabhupada say? These books will be read for next 10,000 years. That was Prabhupada's answer. Which means that every word that Prabhupada has wrote in the purport is a well thought of the word. Every word in these books are very, very valuable. That is where it comes, scrutinizingly study. What is this word means? Why Prabhupada used this word? Not anything else. That is how we have to examine, analyze, go deeper into it. If we don't understand, look in the other references, like that. Okay. But again, the Nectar of Instruction, very, very beautiful book. Anyway, we'll move on. Any questions, comments before we move on?
Rejecting personal gratification. When I read that 2 lines, it just reminded me of the Bhakti Shastri days. Essay on is rejecting personal sense gratification okay? Great.
Okay. All right. So, any Matajis would like to read the next paragraph?
In the above quoted verse from Bhagavad Gita, the words Daivim Prakritim refers to the control of the internal potency or pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This pleasure potency is manifested as Srimati Radharani or her expansion Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. When the individual Jiva souls are under the control of the internal energy, their only engagement is the satisfaction of Krishna or Vishnu. This is the position of a Mahatma. If one is not a Mahatma, he is Duratma or a cripple-minded person. Such mentally crippled Duratmas are put under the control of the Lord's external potency, Mahamaya.
Very good. Someone else, can you read the next paragraph?
Indeed, all living entities within this material world are under the control of Mahamaya, whose business is to subject them to the influence of threefold miseries: Adhidevika Klesha, suffering caused by the demigods such as droughts, earthquakes, and storms; Adhibhautika Klesha, suffering caused by other living entities like insects or enemies; and Adhyatmika Klesha, suffering caused by one's own body and mind, such as mental and physical infirmities. Daiva Bhutatma Hetavaha, the conditioned souls subjected to these three miseries by the control of the external energy suffer various difficulties.
Very good. So, when Krishna is not in the center, then what happens? One goes through the threefold miseries. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi plus other three types. Right? Sevenfold miseries. Everybody know what are those three types? In the Bhagavad Bhakti books you must have discussed, isn't it? One causes our own body and mind, Adhyatmika Klesha. Then Adhibhautika Klesha. Other living entities give us trouble. Okay, in Kali Yuga that is very prominent, isn't it? So in Kali Yuga, there is only one person is a good person. Okay, me. Yeah, everybody else are the bad. Yes. So, and then comes the Adhidaivika Klesha, natural calamities. So, when Krishna is not in the center, one goes through the entanglement, birth and death cycle, going through the miseries. Okay, and Mahatma or a broad-minded, he knows that yes, I can get out of this cycle, I can get out of the jail, so let me get out. Right? So, Mahatma, not only Mahatma gets out, and he basically delivers others also. Yes? Make sense? Yes, next one.
The main problem confronting the conditioned souls is the repetition of birth, old age, disease, and death. In the material world, one has to work for the maintenance of the body and soul. But how can one perform such work in a way that is favorable for the execution of Krishna consciousness? Everyone requires possessions such as food, grains, clothing, money, and other things necessary for the maintenance of the body, but one should not collect more than necessary for his actual basic needs. If this natural principle is followed, there will be no difficulty in maintaining the body.
Very good. So here, Prabhupada is basically building the foundation for explanation of the verse. Yes? So there are these 6 types of obstacles are mentioned. So before talking that, Prabhupada explained about the Mahatmas and the sevenfold miseries and so on. Right? And here Prabhupada brings to the point that one requires to put some endeavor to maintain the body. Yes? And that is okay. However, one basically over endeavors, that is basically causes the problem, and one gets into the cycle of birth and death and all the threefold miseries. Okay, that is the result. And from next paragraph onwards, Prabhupada basically explains each and every obstacle, all these 6 in very great details. Make sense? So, let's move on. If anybody have any questions, you can stop me as we go. Okay? Yes.
According to nature's arrangements, living entities lower on the evolutionary scale do not eat or collect more than necessary. Consequently, in animal kingdom, there is generally no economic problem or scarcity of necessities. If a bag of rice is placed in public place, birds will come and eat few grains and go away. A human being, however, will take away whole bag. He will eat all his stomach can hold and then try to keep the rest in storage. According to scriptures, this collecting of more than necessary atyasha is forbidden. Now the entire world is suffering because of it.
Yes. Atyahara. Like, the collecting more than necessary or eating more than necessary. Okay? Agree? So what to do next?
Intermittent.
Okay. So Prabhupada very beautifully starts with the lower living entities. Lower living entity means those who don't have a higher intelligence. Who has higher intelligence? Humans. Right? Those lower means they have a low intelligence. But low intelligence, they don't do all this nonsense. Okay? Give the food, they eat as much as required and go away. And Krishna provides everybody. A bird needs a few grains, bird gets it. Elephant needs a tons of the food. Per day, the elephant eats 400 kilos. Isn't it? Elephant also gets it. But only human beings collect more than necessary. So one should collect or not?
You can collect, but in the service of Krishna.
Very good. When can we collect? Who can collect? Grihasthas. Why?
Because we have to help
the other ashrams we support.
Very good. So Grihasthas basically look after the other ashram. Suppose a sannyasi comes home, you should have something to give. So that you can't say that, oh, I also don't have anything. So because the 4 ashram, brahmacharis don't accumulate. They basically engage in the studying scriptures. Vanaprasthas anyway retired. And sannyasis completely renounced. So in the society there is only one ashram, which is the Grihastha ashram. They look after the others. For that reason, one must accumulate. Alright? So just like in our case, practically, we can give the donation to the temple. A brahmachari can't give. Sannyasi can't give. Sannyasi has already given up everything. Isn't it? Grihasthas have to donate so that the Krishna consciousness will spread. And Grihasthas, again, they have a family. Wife, children and all. You should provide a sufficient lifestyle to them. Okay, you have to take care of the children as well. So for that, accumulation is required. Okay, so however, the over accumulation is problem. Okay, so whatever the decent requirement, that much endeavor one should put. Make sense? So basically, that the atyahara is prohibited, not the accumulation itself. Okay, so one has to, again, the purpose of the accumulation has to be defined first. When you don't have the purpose, that is when even though if you accumulate a little bit, that is also too much. Make sense? Understood? Yes, Prabhuji. Chandrakant is deeply meditating.
Birthday boy.
Oh, today is your birthday?
Yeah.
Hari Bol. So, yes.
Like something is coming in my mind.
Yeah.
In the communism, they say that there was a basic principle that everyone should, no one should accumulate, yeah, and everyone should get the equal amount. But even that has a intrinsic issue. But that is, I think, different than this.
Yes. Prabhupada explained communism and capitalism both are failure. In the Isha Upanishad, Prabhupada has explained that. What the communism saying? You don't accumulate, but we will provide. So they are putting themselves in the center. Right? So that way the communism is failed. Capitalism, everybody can accumulate. So there is a rat race is going on. Right? So now it's giving no benefit to anyone. So what is missing? Varnashrama dharma is missing. What is Varnashrama dharma? All the four Varnas, they were working very cooperatively. Nobody is higher, nobody is lower. Everybody were duty bound. My duty is this. Okay, Sudra is a lower class. But they were not disrespected. They were looked after. And Brahmana is the highest class. But Brahmanas never thought that, I am the greatest. When the Brahmanas thought that I am the greatest of the society, that is where Kali Yuga began. Okay? And that is where the Varnashrama system broke, collapsed by the corruptive Brahmanas. When the Brahmanas corrupted, everything collapsed. Clear? So that is the reason when if you see in the Leelamrita also, towards the end of the Prabhupada, just before leaving the planet, he was so much stressing on the Varnashrama. ISKCON should become an ideal society in the world, and ISKCON should bring back the Varnashrama system. And it's not that easy. The Kali Yuga has progressed so much. But yes, whatever today, there is some value, that is what the ISKCON is doing. Okay, whatever we are doing, Does it answer your question, Prabhuji?
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Okay, any other points in terms of the Atyahara?
I have a question.
Yes.
So they're saying that we shouldn't accumulate more than necessary. So how do we determine like how much I needed? Like what is necessity?
Very good question. See, there are the two things that, some time ago we did a retirement plan,
Yes.
right? And once, if you go through that, what I explained at that time, once you know that this is what I need in the next this many years, that is your base. Anything above that is Atyahara. Okay, because the plan what I gave is that you calculate the inflation also. Okay, and you can accumulate more to look after the kids and all, that is all right. But that how much it is, that you calculate for yourself. Okay, and more than that, what is more important is that what is your consciousness. Everything has to be spent for Krishna, not for myself. Ambarish Prabhu, the Ford company chief, he comes to Alfred Ford, owner of the Ford company. He is a Prabhupada disciple. That he comes to Mayapur He never show off that I'm a big guy and all. He wears a dhoti and comes and very humble position, and he accumulates millions, and that money he uses for Krishna consciousness. Okay, so the whole idea is that the accumulation, again, as I was saying that earlier, the purpose has to be defined. Okay, you define the purpose for yourself and you plan how much is that required. And once you do that, you will be peaceful as well. You will be peaceful. Prabhupada says in the Ishopanishad, the first verse, that one should be, do not accept more than the one's quota. Okay, so how much is your quota? How do you know? Again, as Prabhupada explains in this verse, he is referring to the lower living entities. Lower living entities they never break the rules. They never break the rules. Now, cow is given to eat the grass. Cow eats grass only. Cow has a choice. I will eat here or eat there. But eat grass only. But the cow will not say that, I will go and eat meat. Cow will die, but will not break the rule. Now, tiger is there. Tiger eats meat only. Tiger will die, but never eat the grass. Okay? Human beings are the only species who break the rules. Okay? And the human beings have to rise above, come to the level of the Mahatmas. The Mahatmas are those who basically understand the quota and who understand the purpose. Once your quota and purpose is there, then you will be peaceful. Why peaceful? Because Krishna in the center. Yes.
I would like to share my observation, like when you are mentioning about the lower species in terms of breaking rules. Like whatever leftover prasadam is, we generally put it in the backyard. I have observed like birds will come at a specified time and they will eat whatever. Sometimes it's like big quantity and the leftover will stay until evening. In the evening time they will come at a specified time. It's not like that if there is too much prasadam they are coming again and again and again. So like they are very disciplined also. So wake up time Prabhu does some bird feeding in the morning. So like Saturday, Sundays they wake up late, but they are there waiting.
Yes.
Like very disciplined. Yeah, I've got the same experience. They actually like chee 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 that you can hear that they're waiting.
Absolutely, yes.
Come to the al fresco also.
So
Very
other birds as well.
So I always.
Yes. So, any other questions? Very good, Mataji. Yes, bird feeding is very good. I used to do that during my school days. Pigeons used to come and I used to feed them every day. And over the period they started to making the home in our backyard and they laid eggs and all, My mother was so upset because of you there is a mess everywhere, Yeah. Okay. So, yes, any other questions? So now, if we see philosophically, we can divide the people in the various categories. So those who are after the bhakti, who are they? Just material enjoyment, bhakti, just accumulate and enjoy. And those who are after the mukti, those who basically after the Vedic knowledge to get liberated and merge in the Brahman. And those who are the siddhis, those who meditate and want to what you call the acquire mystical power, right? So all of them fall under the Atyahara category. So bhuktis, because they accumulate and enjoy more than necessary. Entire world is on that race. So everybody is accumulating. Oh, that fellow has got 7 houses, I will have 8 houses. This fellow has got this much of balance and I will have that much of balance. So this is going on. Not only at our level, the company's level also, that company is big and this company is big. And country level also. Everybody is in the accumulate. Prabhupada said that this world can produce the food grains for 5 times more than the current population. But current population itself is like whatever is produced is not enough. Because that people are consuming at a alarming rate. Have you heard of the David Attenborough? The guy who does the all the National Geographic, so in the one of the episode, he said that world is producing, and it takes some time, but the consumption, the rate of the consumption of the human beings is 30 times more than the production, and that is where the shortage is coming. And he basically, predicted that there will be a food shortage. Because everybody accumulating, everybody is unnecessary things. Unnecessary. So they to come up with a new technology and put it into the phone, and everybody run after buy the another phone. And ultimately you do the phones and alarm only. And whatever the technology, that's enough for us. Okay, and then basically they put that much of speed, this one, that one, and bigger screen, smaller screen, brighter screen, everything. And at the end of the day, you use it for alarm. Okay, but everybody buy it, isn't it? So this way that everybody start accumulating. So there is a story that a businessman, he was accumulating huge amounts. He was accumulating because business people are generally greedy, right? And after the death, as due to his karma, he became a cobbler's son, mochiwala. Okay, and he born near the house only. Every day he was looking at, oh, my house. Okay, and one day he went there. Okay, his grandsons, children, everybody were there. They took the slippers and beat him and thrashed him out. So own house, he couldn't get in. So you can accumulate. You can have a bank balance. Next life you come and say that give my bank balance. Anybody will give you? No. Somebody will take it. It could be your children or it could be your government. Okay? Or maybe thieves. Somebody will take it, but you will not take it. That is the reality of the life. You can accumulate, but you get nothing. Make sense? So that either somebody steal from you, or your children will take, or your government will take. Ultimately, you get nothing. So what is the use of the accumulation? If you accumulate, and if there is a guarantee that because of this money, I will go back to the Godhead, and that is the best accumulation. You accumulate more, no problem. Make sense? Prabhupada was accumulating. What to speak? Small money. He was accumulating huge amounts. He used to go to all the business people, say that donate. So likewise, what did he do? He built 104 temples all over the world, spread the Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada can accumulate, no problem. You also accumulate like that and spread Krishna consciousness. That is the best thing to do. That is not the Atyaha. Make sense? Any questions? If you do the over accumulation, what is the problem?
We came with empty hands, we go with empty hands.
Very good. Whatever you accumulate, you have to leave. Yes. Anything else? Yes, Mataji. If you accumulate, what will be the problem?
Too much
It's very
attachment.
hard to go also. If you accumulate too much, it's very hard to leave the body because we will be always
At the time of death, you will
See?
be very much hard to leave.
Very difficult because that there is so much of attachment. How can I go living? This cobbler died, no control. Nobody has got a control in the death. But now he is crying for the house. In Calcutta, there was a businessman, okay, and he was very sick, about to die. He was in the hospital. So his son basically invited Prabhupada. Prabhupada, please come and see him, bless him. He is about to die. So Prabhupada kindly went to hospital. So he spoke to him and blessed him, whatever. So that fellow said, Swamiji, please give me one more week's life. I don't want to die now. 1 week is enough. I will die next week. So Prabhupada asked, why? What happens in 1 week? Because my 13th factory is getting inaugurated. So whether 12 factories, 13 factories or 50 factories, how many you are going to take away? See, the buddhi, basically, that is how the buddhi corrupts. So too much accumulation, the mind gets corrupt. What are the other problems? Health problems.
Artificial scarcity for other people.
Yes.
If you accumulate more, the other people will not get their share.
Their share, yes. And
They may lose that.
correct, there will be fear, right?
Constant fear of losing it.
Yes. Nowadays, all the Indians keep the gold in the locker and wear the plastic jewelry. So if you have to wear the plastic jewelry, then why work hard?
You have to pay for investment market.
For the locker also you have to pay.
keep also.
And here you can wear.
Okay. So, I mean, nobody can understand. So, if you have to wear the plastic jewelry, you work less. Instead of 40 hours, you work 20 hours. That is sufficient. Isn't it? But we work 40 hours, overtime, second job, third job, and then do this investment and that investment. Once everything comes, put it in the locker. Yes? So, there is a fear. That is another thing. And that, the greed basically keeps on increase. When the greed for the accumulation, the wealth goes higher, then the greed for the Krishna will reduce. Okay, and when the accumulation is there, then it comes that, aham bhogi, I am the enjoyer, this all mine, this is because of mine. Then it's very hard to concentrate on Krishna. Make sense? It's almost 9:40. I think we'll stop here. There are the 5 other elements to talk. Maybe we'll do next week.
These kids are getting drunk.
So, I mean, any questions or comments? All good? Shall we stop here? Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Let us thank Prabhu for his most valuable time and a beautiful